So today we will talk about the heart. So we will talk about the heart today. So in heart also we will talk mostly about the external structures present in the heart. So let me draw the heart first. So this is your typical heart. So there are a few external structures that can be seen right away. So this one, uh, let me draw this again. So this is your typical heart. It is the shape of the heart. So it kind of looks like a mango. Like this lower part is kind of pointed, and when you go upwards, then it becomes broader. So this upward part, it's the base, and the lower pointed part is called the apex of the heart. So this is the apex, and this is the base. So this is the apex of the heart, this is the base of the heart. So from the base of the heart there are lots of vessels that are coming out. So this, like, the superior vena cava is coming out, the pulmonary trunk is coming out, the aorta is also coming out. So the base of the heart is the place from where these great vessels, these are called the important, these are really important vessels, so they are called the great vessels. So from the base of the heart lots of great vessels come out. So that's the base, that's the apex of the heart. Now these are the two parts that can be seen right away. So apart from these two, there are some other structures that we need to identify. So now we will talk about the borders of the heart. So there are three borders in heart. So the first border can be seen this side. So this line, this part of the heart, it's called the right border. So this is called the right border. And then this side, so since this is the right one, this side is obviously the left border of the heart. And then something interesting is there. So why did I like do the shading part? It is because this part is not seen from the front. This is like this is your frontal surface, and this part is like below, so we cannot see it from the front side. So this is the flat part that is below the heart, like that's at the lower surface of the heart. So this part, this surface, this surface is called the diaphragmatic surface, the shaded part. We will come to the surfaces later. But then this line, like this line is like, this is flat, right? And on the posterior side this part is slanted. This is the anterior side you are seeing, but on the like behind this is the posterior side. So the posterior side is like this part is like slanted. This posterior part is slanted and this part is flat. So there's like, obviously there's a line created between these two junctions. So this line is called the inferior border of the heart. And now there are three borders: right, left, and inferior border. But you might be wondering, what do we call this one? So some people call it the upper border, but since I saw, like we saw in the last drawing that I did, there are lots of vessels coming out from this upper part. So like people call this one upper border, but since lots of vessels are coming out, this border is not demarcated properly. People cannot, like, we cannot distinguish this border properly, so we don't really include this one. So in exams you write there are three borders: right border, left border, and inferior border. Now let's come to the surfaces of the heart. So there are border and there are surfaces. So this is your typical heart, the apex, the base, remember that. And now there are again three surfaces in heart. So this first surface, like, we'll draw this inferior border first. This first surface is like this. So this part, this surface, like this surface is towards the right part, like right side, and goes all the way to the middle, and it also crosses the middle of the interior surface. So this surface is called ster sternocostal surface. So this one is called sternocostal surface. So why is it called sternocostal? So there's a reason behind this. So on this part, like towards the right part of the heart, there is the mediasternum, right? The middle of the chest is towards the right of the heart, and in the middle of the chest there is a very important bone. Like this is a sword-shaped bone. This is a chest bone. Okay, there is a very important bone, and this bone is called the sternum. This bone is called the sternum. That's why, since this part faces towards the sternum, this chest bone, that's why this is called sternocostal. And coastal is because, like, the ribs, like over, like the ribs also cover the heart, and ribs are kind of related to the words coastal. So that's why it's called sternocostal. So it's like the ribs cover this part of the this surface, and this surface faces the bone sternum. That's why it's called sternocostal part. Now this part, this black shaded part, so this black shaded part is called the left surface. Why? Because it faces towards the left side. And then this lower part, like the one that I showed you guys on the previous drawing that I did, this is the inferior border, and this part, that is the flat one, towards the posterior surface, where the posterior surface is like flat instead of being slanted. So this part is called the diaphragmatic surface. Diaphragmatic surface, the diaphragmatic surface. So why is it called the diaphragmatic surface? So there is your heart, and what's below the heart? The thing that's below the heart is the diaphragm. So since this part is like the flat part, and towards the base of the, like towards the lower part of the heart, so this part, this flat surface articulates with the diaphragm, so it's called the diaphragmatic surface of the heart. So as a recap, there are three surfaces: sternocostal surface, left surface, and the diaphragmatic surface. So these are the surfaces of the heart.